Hello, everyone. It's a somber Beverly Hills day because I usually like to infuse my recaps with a little humor, but it is hard to find any comedy in this week's episode. So now that I got us all pumped for this recap, if you are not subscribed, get subscribed. I'm covering Beverly Hills, Southern Charm, and Atlanta. And very soon we'll be covering Salt Lake City. That trailer dropped and it was chaotic. And when Potomac is blessed to come into our lives, I will be recapping that as well. And if you are already subscribed, thank you so much. I so appreciate you. And now let's get Pia in here and get into this after the intro. My name is Emily, and I have been watching Bravo TV as a form of self-care for over a decade. Needless to say, I'm a complete mess. Subscribe and follow along for painfully insightful recaps about Bravo, true crime, and other great TV. Hit that bell. All right, everybody. Pia is here. It is Beverly Hills Day, so you know what that means. Well, I would play the Beverly Hills intro music, but I got hit with the copyright claim last time, so I know it was really annoying. I know.
Oh my gosh, that's
I
so
was
annoying.
so bummed. I know. So
was
now
Andy himself, I bet.
it was so annoying. So now it's just like blank. Now it's just us holding the diamonds. It's much less impactful. But
Don't you get to have like a certain amount of seconds?
That's what I thought. But when it comes to YouTube, this is something I was warned about. They copyright everything. Yeah. They have someone, they have scanners going through and they find it all.
Yeah, no, that happened to me a couple of times when I was doing my short-lived video YouTube channel with Sean during the pandemic. But I was like, but I really like this music.
Yeah. So this episode, as I said in the intro, this episode, as you guys know, I like to infuse comedy usually into these recaps, but there's almost nothing funny about this episode at all.
This was like the hardest episode I've watched in all of, I think, all throughout all of the franchises. Like this wasn't fun.
Yeah.
That's how I walked away just like screaming in my apartment. This was not fun.
And then I watched the after show, and Dorit has been like, we've seen it already, but this especially with this episode, especially, she's been so media coached by the Fox Force 5 on what to say at the after show that like any sort of hint of being on the right side that we get when we're seeing, like when she talks about how Kyle's really stirring the pot, or when, you know, she's saying to Erika in that scene, like, aren't you not supposed to be drinking? Like when we see these glimpses of Dorit seeming to like have a good head on her shoulders, all that's gone by the after show. And I'll play one of the clips because what she had to say about this moment was absurd. And so it only, like, I almost dread watching the after show because they doubled down so much. They're not watching this back going, that was a little harsh, which is why I'm afraid of the reunion.
I am too, because I can give people grace in the sense of like in the moment you're living your truth. You're like, this is how I feel, and you have blinders on. But usually when you get the rare opportunity to reflect back and see some of the stuff, that's when you're like, oh shoot, maybe that was a little harsher. Or you're right, they just double down, and it's like, why are they afraid to have faults and apologize? And I don't know, I don't get it.
All right, let's just get into it because I'm sure we're gonna have a lot to say. All right, Kyle and Dorit, they're driving to like go walk their dog somewhere. Dorit goes, last night, you know, it was wild, Kyle. It was interesting and it was wild and it was a little all over the place. She's so dramatic.
Yeah.
And they're very hungover from having gone to the Polo Lounge afterwards. And so they give us like the obligatory conversations about what's happening in the group. Like Rinna's reactions are so extreme, but Kyle says that just so she can say, I think we should reserve judgment. Thank you, Kyle. Thank you for that.
God,
and
I couldn't understand where she was going because it sounded like she was like, at first I'm like, oh, are you saying Rinna's outbursts are like too much? And then all of a sudden you're like, no, take it back, take backs. Got to give her grace. Like,
I was like, oh, good. You're going to say, oh, never mind. Never mind. I don't know why I thought for a split second you were actually going to
be a decent human being.
And never mind. Yeah. Okay. But then, and also the same thing with Dorit. Dorit's like, I don't want Sutton to feel like it's a pylon, but she doesn't articulate herself right and land her point. And then Kyle, same kind of things. Like sometimes Sutton talks too much, or sometimes she doesn't talk at all. And, you know, she makes it difficult. And it's like if they don't understand exactly how someone communicates and they don't like it, then they must go down.
Yeah.
They must beat them to a bloody pulp emotionally until they break and beg them for forgiveness and become their minion.
Yeah. And that's what they did to Dorit. That's what they did.
That's exactly
Erika.
what they did to Dorit.
They did that to Dorit. They did that to Erika. They did that to Teddy.
You're right.
They did
Teddy
it to
was
all
the
of them.
easiest one to do it to.
Oh, she was just begging to be broken.
Teddy was like, I want to be the minion. Like, just show me how.
She signed up willingly.
Yeah, she's like, actually, no, I'm here to be that person. So just give me the manual.
They did it. And it's Kyle, the little ringleader.
Mm-hmm. But you're right. Dorit doesn't realize it happened to her.
Oh, she does not.
Dorit's like unaware that she's also had that. Like she this happened to you too, but it's
still happening.
It's happening right now. Look at the after show. But she's she has Stockholm syndrome, and they've convinced her that they say all of these things in love because we're real sisters, and that's what sisters do. It's true. It's true. That's scary.
Yeah.
So Garcelle's house, Diana comes over, hungover, her outfit's on backwards, and gracious Garcelle is opening up with open arms. She's just like, hey girl, hey Bosnia, holding no grudges, which is honestly a queen shit, because we love that in Housewives. We just want you to keep it moving. We don't want you to hold on for dear life to everything like the Fox Force 5 does.
Exactly. She literally, Garcelle is doing everything that they asked for. Okay, you say that you can't get close to me because of Sutton's not here. Come to my home, and I'm going to make it comfortable for you. Like, I'm going to be really open with you. Yeah. It's just like, guys,
not enough.
It's never enough. It's never enough.
Not enough. And then this also explains, because Diana had been out with them at the Polo Lounge. This explains those horrible pictures that I remember when Diana posted those pictures on social media. All of us, all the Bravo accounts were like, someone get the new girl under control, because they were horrible. And we all were like, she's about to get in so much trouble. And she admits, she's like, yeah, they all were mad at me. Like, I cannot believe I posted those. Like Kyle's eyes half open in one of them. Like, these were like the pictures you took accidentally on your phone. She's like, this is a good one.
That was probably the realest we've ever seen Diana.
Yeah.
That was the realest.
So, okay. The Sutton topic comes up, and Diana's like, I'm taking a step back from Sutton. Now, I just want to remind everybody that Sutton and Diana had that conversation at Kyle's house where Sutton gave a great apology. Crystal even noted the great apology. Diana said, we're on a timeout. We're good. We're good. It seemed like a great moment.
Yeah.
Is that the last time that they had a major interaction about it?
I feel like that I think that was the last time they had a major.
Because then they had the homeless, not toothless or whatever, but like they didn't have an interaction.
Correct. Yeah, no, they haven't spoken about it since.
So Sutton's just been holding on to it this whole time. That's insane. That's crazy. It's been over. It's been done. And things have happened since. And she's still just holding on to it. So she says, I'm still trying to figure out if she's a malicious person or if she's misunderstood. This is only coming from the fact that Sutton said Erika has a lot of lawsuits. She's purely being fed information. They're just sitting and like brewing a witch's cauldron of hate for Sutton in their group chat.
Yeah.
That's it. They're focusing so much energy on it.
It's a little tired. I'm like, God, guys.
God.
Get a new narrative, which they're about to, I guess. They're about to create one.
Right? So she's going to stay at a hotel because she sends in Ghostbusters. And I love Garcelle. Garcelle doesn't, she's like, do I think she's nuts? Yeah. But would I want to do it? Yeah. I like it.
See, that's why Garcelle's fun.
Yes.
Because this is how, by the way, this is how Diana started to dislike Sutton, was an offhanded joking comment about her having one piece of bacon. That's where it all started unraveling for Diana for some reason.
Oh my God, that's right.
I
forgot about the bacon line.
Is that going to be what this season is? Bacon Gate? That's what like snapped for Diana, is the fact that Sutton had a piece of fucking bacon. And that made her a liar because she said she's a vegan. I'm like, okay.
I forgot about that.
But it's like Diana, all she had to do is just laugh and like not care because doesn't affect her life if Sutton has a piece of bacon. But that made her like decide that she is a liar, which is what the group wants.
Can't be trusted.
Can't be trusted. And it's now formatting her opinion of Sutton moving forward and all of the opinions the other ladies have of her because she ate a piece of bacon.
Remember when Kyle actually said, no, that's important.
Yeah, she
totally
did.
Co-signed it.
She did.
That's important.
She did. She made it justified that Diana felt that way. It's so ridiculous, guys. Like every season you have some ridiculous thing that is the catalyst of why this season is like hard to watch.
I completely forgot about bacon eating vegetarian.
Yeah, like she said it so many times. I was like, I don't give a fuck if Sutton eats bacon. Like, I don't.
And why do you?
I don't care. Like, do you want her? Do you need her? It's like, she's like being a Rinna, where Rinna needs her to say exactly what she needs her to say. Like, you need Sutton to say, I am not a vegan. And then we can be done with it, right?
Yeah. Right.
That's what they want. You're not a vegan.
And then even if she were to say that, Diana would be like, but you said you were. So
it's just weird that you would say that though. Like, why?
Yeah.
Like,
never
like,
trust her again.
God damn.
And like, I need to know everyone that you've ever known in your life. Have they all always been honest 24/7 about every single thing that's ever come out of their mouth? Doubtful.
Right? Like, girl, I know your husband or ex-husband didn't get his money from telling the truth all the time.
Mm-hmm.
You don't get that type of money from telling the truth all the time. Okay.
Tell me about it. Speaking of not telling the truth all the time, Lisa and Harry are unpacking Lois's stuff. And Lisa's like unpacking stuff. And she gives us her confessional moment of talking about her grief. And she's like, with my grief, I'm just letting myself go through it. However, I need to go through it.
God.
And if I'm not strong, that's okay.
It's like she makes it really hard for me to be empathetic towards her because like I was having a moment when she's just like, when she's quiet and she's looking through her mom's stuff.
Yep.
And I'm like getting emotional because we do know Lois through the footage. So it's like, I'm like, oh my God, her sweater, her tchotchke, the book. I do remember when she told us the story about being attacked. And, we're going through our own emotional, but then it's just like, then she has to like taint it with putting her agenda on it. Like, remember, see all these things. That's why I can act bad. That's what she like. I'm like, yep. You're tainting it. Like, stop. Yeah. Like this was a nice moment.
I'm sad. And that's why I'm being an asshole.
Yeah. Like this was a nice moment. And I did really enjoy that scene because Lois was a great part of the show and I really enjoyed her on it. But she had to taint it with her fucking calculating agenda stuff. Like, come on, girl. Like, come on. Like you had a moment to get us there for a second to actually really get us to like empathize with you and you fucking ruined it.
Yeah. Kyle and Mauricio have this like putting green thing there. And my God, she's annoying with him. Like, she's like, let me practice. And he's like, put it right here. She's like, Mo, shut up. Stop. No. I'm like, okay, Kyle, Jesus Christ. And he's like, I got to go up there with you guys to Aspen because they have got those great skiing conditions. I'm like, so there's no other time you could go up there. Like, do you really need to? I don't know why I found it a little creepy and annoying that Mauricio had to join them. I don't know why. Maybe it's just me being annoyed by him at this point, but I did. But the first red flag is he says that they've got some work being done on the house that's not totally done. And so right away, I'm like, uh-oh, first red flag. I don't know why. It just felt like that. Mm-hmm. Simultaneously, though, Dorit and PK are like talking about the trip. And Dorit's not going to stay at Kyle's house, which I like.
Yeah, I did too.
Up, right? We like when you separate the alliances. But she's still working through the robbery, and
I forgot about that robbery until that shit. I did. It's like, oh shit, yeah, you're supposed to have that trauma. I forgot about that. I did.
PK goes, don't call me when I'm in London to come get you. And Dorit's like, you should be able to come get me when you're on Mars, PK. But then Kyle, of course, is like, I don't know how Dorit's going to handle it. I don't know about that. And Mauricio's like, I'm not really listening. And then Kyle goes, speaking of something you really don't give a shit about, Sutton and Garcelle unfollowed Erika. And I know that doesn't mean a lot to you, but that sends a big message. Literally just to you, though, Kyle.
Yeah.
Like it only sends a message to you.
I feel like everyone was really annoyed with Kyle this episode, though.
And I liked it, but
yeah,
it didn't matter at all at the end of the day.
It didn't. No, did it?
No, it didn't. We got a nice Lucy sighting. Crystal's like house. I don't know what you call her, but she was hilarious. And she was like making fun of Crystal for all the suitcases she was bringing. And then Crystal's like, I think it'll be okay. And Lucy's like, sure, whatever. You like the drama.
Oh,
I like Susie. I like Lucy just trolling her.
Yes, Lucy. I like that they have that type of relationship too.
Yeah, me too.
It's like very Jeff Lewis.
Very, yes. Absolutely. Zoila.
Yeah.
Sutton's big puffy jacket that she's trying to get into her suitcase was also a nice little comedic break. I'm trying to find any little glimmers of happiness in this episode. And she's Did you feel like you saw the whole episode besides the last chunk? Like from the amount of clips that they aired, I felt like when I was watching it, I was like, we saw all this for the most part, like except for some like filler stuff. You mean in previews?
Yeah, I feel like they gave us
all the damn time.
I feel like they really gave us too much because I was like, it's only that last little chunk, really.
Yeah, I hate when they do that. They're like, here's another one. Now here's Mauricio cooking. Now I'm like, okay, guys, just show us, just give us the episode.
Yeah, like I was like, I felt like I saw the meat of the episode.
You're not wrong. They do that. I intentionally didn't watch. Like if a new preview came out, I intentionally was like, I'm not watching. I'm making a point of it now.
I watched all of them and I was like,
yeah.
When is the new parts gonna come?
Yeah, like why then? Like why are you just release it early if you want that then?
It's like I almost was like, I think I've seen the episode. I was like, I almost tuned out until the end, but
I used to get, because making content, I used to get like nervous. Like, should I post the preview as well? But I've just sort of stopped doing that because I've also learned something.
Ooh.
They intentionally cut the previews, like they'll intentionally cut them right before like the next line that completely changes the entire narrative of the scene.
Yeah.
So we'll get all up in arms and then we'll see the very next line and like, oh, well, that literally changes everything. Never mind. So I've stopped getting all up in arms and like caring about previews. So I intentionally just like not even watching previews.
Yeah,
Bravo,
I'll have to
you're
do
not
that
gonna
moving
get me
forward.
anymore.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm like, why are you
Won't
guys
be
doing that? Yeah, it's annoying. Garcelle FaceTimes Cherie, our arch nemesis.
Was she like, why are you even coming?
We're not even, you don't need to be there anymore. But Garcelle tells her, she's like, she's just like, I'm done with Erika. She's dead to me. She could be on fire and I've got no water to throw on her.
Garcelle's like, she's mad. Like, this is not Garcelle being like, she's not for me. No, she's pissed.
Done.
She's mad.
Done. She's basically like, don't accuse me of doing what you fuckers do. Okay. What you little shitheads do. I'm not doing that.
Like, yeah.
I say this to your face. I have integrity. Okay. I like how they're doing the countdown, like on the title card will be like 2 days before Aspen, 1 day before Aspen. So now it's 1 day before Aspen and Garcelle and Crystal are FaceTiming about the earrings. And so I'm loving that this is happening now. And Garcelle is going to be talking about it on the reel. And thank God this is where Crystal wins back the audience completely 100% because she is fully like, give them back their earrings. Who cares? Why do you need to hold on to them?
Yeah.
Like, it's been proven that there are victims in this who have not been paid. Give them back your earrings. Help them out. So they're on the same page there. It is going to be awkward. I like how Garcelle's like, the episode of The Real will not be airing before the Aspen trip. So we'll be good at least for that, because that's got to be so awkward. Right?
Yeah.
Like, imagine if it came out before.
And then she like was wearing them like the whole trip.
Oof.
Cringe.
Speaking of fucking cringe. Okay. They're getting on the private jet and Erika's describing Aspen. It's like the place to be. Everybody knows. Everybody goes to Aspen. And then she goes, I've been there a million times, flown on my own plane. You little fucking psychopath.
Bitch. You bitch.
You never had a plane. Okay. It was purchased with stolen money.
And okay,
how are you still flexing?
This is okay. Just to go on a brief tangent.
Take it.
You've posted about this on your Instagram, but it's like Erika thinks it's some type of flex that she put out that Tom bought his mistress a condo or whatever with the stolen money and other gifts. The difference is the lady has no problem returning that shit. Like, she's like, oh, this is stolen. I did not know. Here you go.
Here you go.
Like, it's that fucking simple for her. It's not even like think twice. She said, here you go. That's fine. I didn't know. I had no way of knowing. But now that I do know, guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to give it fucking back. And that's the thing with Erika. So like, if, like you said on your post, like, let's live in this she didn't know bullshit crap land. We're living there. She didn't know. She knows fucking now. And she's refusing to believe or like, she's refusing to believe. So she doesn't have to give back items. Like,
and she's calling them liars.
Yeah. Like she's calling them liars. She's acting as if they're not victims. It's so sick. And that's like, the thing is, it's like, guys, fine. She wasn't guilty before. She certainly is now.
Yep.
She certainly is now. And for me, the way that she's behaving now, knowing all this, gives me probable cause to think that she would have no problem knowingly doing it with
exactly.
Tom. That's I'm just saying is her behavior now makes me in no way feel like she would have, like if Tom was straight up was like, girl, I'm stealing this money from people and to pay for your glam. I feel like she would be, from her behavior that she is showing me, I feel like she would be okay with it.
That's exactly the good point. Exactly that. She'd be like, oh, okay, that's cool. I can still get them, right? I got okay, cool. Because I want to fly them first. I want to fly them first class to Dubai.
Yeah, like guys, like it doesn't even matter if she didn't know. Like she knows now and she absolutely does not give a fuck. So she would have never given a fuck. Yeah, I don't know. Case closed.
Right? Like at what point was she going to go, Tom, I think we should scale back and you should give this back?
No. She wouldn't have, because she's not doing it now. She's
proving it now.
She wouldn't have because she's not doing it currently. So what are we talking about, guys?
So stop gaslighting us, Erika.
Yeah, this is not even a fucking discussion. It's like Garcelle's so right. Like you're literally telling us everything.
You're the one making the narrative.
Sutton's not pointing it out. You're pointing it out with your actions.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you're giving it life by keeping yourself on this platform. Half of the shit I wouldn't even know if you weren't on the show.
Exactly. You're the one adding to the evidence list.
I actually don't know. Like some of these lawsuits may not have even come up if you weren't on the show.
That's facts. That's facts right there.
You're creating your own hole because you're such a narcissist and that you cannot be, you have to be a part of this lifestyle that you would rather all of this hell keep raining down on you for your fucking 15 minutes of fame. It's sad.
Yeah.
Sorry. That was not a brief tangent. That was not good. Brief.
No, that needed to be said. On the plane, Kyle is like, okay, guys, before we land, here's the itinerary. We're going to do a barbecue at my house. And here's the thing. It's our most favorite place in the whole world. I just want to share it with you. And I thought Mexico was. I thought every place they take them is their most favorite place in the whole world.
Yeah.
And she's really setting it up. Like I'm clocking that she has a plan for how this is going to go. She's producing in her head of how this is going to play out. You know, she planted that Ouija board in Rinna's room and she already had her questions lined up in her head. So she, like, all of this was supposed to play out exactly one way. And so that's why we get like her tantrum later. But so she's like, okay, we're going to come to my house and I'm about to go off about her hosting skills in a second. Cause
they're disgusting.
I cannot. They are like, oh my God, look at these amazing houses as they, they're looking at these gorgeous homes. And I think, Crystal's like, those are like $10 million homes. And Erika goes, Diana, buy us a house here. And this is yet again, Erika asking Diana to buy them things. The proof that Erika is enamored with Diana's money.
Oh, absolutely.
Obsessed with it.
She's the new Anna Delvey. She's just trying to, she went from one person and now she's on to the next. And she's hoping that probably Diana introduces her to another rich man. Oh, that's what she's like, let me latch on to somebody because she's going to be in circles. And that's what she's trying to do. She's trying to find herself another fucking cash cow. That's what she's trying to do. Because she got lawsuits and they're not going away. Well, one of them did, but
yeah, right. So they drop Diana off at the hotel. Now we get these, like, they're very clearly setting up okay, so we got Kyle's house and the Aspen rental. So simultaneously we get Kyle's house, which is Kyle's screaming at them, don't fall in the black ice, guys. And they're like, we're fucking fine. We can walk. Like, it's like, we can walk. And then the Christmas lights, she has to like manically take down the Christmas lights and force Erika to help her. Then at the
Erica's never done that in her
Erica's
life.
like, I have to do what? And then at the Aspen rental, it's huge and sprawling. And there's Jenny, the house manager, and there's an elevator and a huge kitchen and a huge dining area and a wine cellar. And at the same time, the Christmas lights are still like frantically happening. And she's like yelling at Erika, like, no, pull them this way, and like getting upset with her. And Erika is like, okay, like up like this. She's like, no, but pull them back. Like it's very, very, very hectic. And then there's an entertainment area in the Aspen house, a pool, like a billiard table, a gym. I mean, it's fantastic. There's Chef Talo or whatever his name is. Like there's a whole chef. And like, listen, Kyle's house is fantastic. What I know, there's like a whole guy behind Pia right now. He can be in the shot. He's as long as he can sign a waiver. Okay, we had to readjust to avoid the strange man that decided to get right in the shot behind Pia. I was going to try to ignore it, but it was impossible because
I was like,
it was too hard. It was way too hard to ignore that guy. It was clearly intentional, you guys. Like Pia has a ring light. It's like she's clearly set up to record. You see what we look like. We have sunglasses, turbans, like we're clearly set up to record. And he went right behind her, right in frame.
Zero fucks.
I think he wanted to be in. Oh, by the way, you guys, someone sent me a picture of themselves in their own version of a turban, sunglasses vibe look with Pia and I, like a still frame of Pia and I behind them. Send us your looks if you want. Like it was the funnest picture to get. And it was so cute. And if you're okay with me sharing them, let me know, like, okay to share. If not, obviously I won't share it because like that's crazy. I would not do that. But it was too cute. Loved it.
I was like that. I loved that. That kind of made my night.
Made my whole night. I'm beaming just even thinking about it.
I was like, we have like, I feel like we're like really a Beverly Hills posse. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yes.
Totally. I get like seriously, because I feel like we're all like you. I feel like this is a season that we're all just all on the same page,
right?
With everything.
Yes. Right. I agree.
It feels good because it's like they're in discourse, but we're not out here. Like, can you hear me?
Yes. No, did I freeze? Am I good?
You're good.
Okay, good. Because you froze for a second. And I was like, great, here we go.
Yeah. Like, great.
I know. That man screwed everything up.
Yep.
Okay, let's get back. Okay. So now we get into like the nitty gritty because I'm sure you spotted this too. Because Pia is watching this and I know she can see this. Kathy arrives. As soon as she walked in the door, I was like, oh, it was like a horror movie where I was like, don't go, Kathy, get a hotel right now. This is not good. She says, and she looks so tired. You can see it. She says, I'm only on 3 hours of sleep in 4 days. The way Rinna responds to this, she's like, oh, well, let's get you to bed. I was like, Rinna hates her. I can feel it. Kyle's like, did you wear that at the airport? And shaming her for her slippers. By the way, not grabbing a pillow, not helping her with her bag, just letting her hold everything and continuing to berate her for her fashion choices while traveling.
And I like how she tried to be like, what if someone recognizes you? Kathy's like, no one's going to recognize me. I don't care. Like,
she's like, I wear a mask. She's like, but still.
She's like, I don't care. I don't care.
They can take a picture of me. I don't care. And then Rinna goes, we have a great room for you. They're bunk beds. So Kathy's the oldest one in this group, right?
Yeah.
She's Kyle's sister. I would expect Kyle to give her sister, I don't know, a nice room.
Why can't Lisa and Erika share the bunk bedroom? They're like besties anyway. Like that would have made more sense.
It was a test. Oh, it was 100%.
And you know what? This is what makes Kathy a fan favorite. They're doing this like hazing thing and shooting little dagger eyes. Like we don't fucking see that shit. Mm-hmm. And what is Kathy doing? Like, okay, that's fine. I can sleep here. Yep. Because she's cool. And that's they thought that Kathy would be, because she's Kathy Hilton, like she has all the best things. They thought she was going to throw a fit. She did not care. She's like,
they
this
had
is fine.
Whether they were like editing it that way or not, but Erika was making faces like, here she goes. She's going to complain.
Oh, they do this all the time. And they think that, like, I was like, are they doing it for camera, or do they really not know that we don't know what's happening? Because Kyle does the same thing too. Like, I'm like, we see you.
And then when Kathy's telling her story about why she's probably not going to ski because her knee and her ear, and she can't handle it because of, like, you know, she gets worried with people passing her. And so she's doing her typical Kathy thing where, I'm sorry, the visual of Kathy skiing with her arms out is hysterical. I would have been dying at the visual of her being like, I ski like this because I get scared of people whizzing by me. And so I go like this, but Rinna is not going to give it to her. I could tell Erika tried to laugh because it is funny, but she was like, nope, I'm going to take my cue from Rinna. And Rinna's like, oh, wow. Huh. Never heard of that. And then in her confessional, Rinna's like, never heard of that. Just bitchy. Not giving it.
Yeah.
Kyle prompted Kathy to tell this story, but then she realizes that Rinna and Erika aren't into it. So then Kyle gets weird. Kyle, like, her face changes and is like, you know, and like, you know, when you're with a group of friends and you're bringing in your friend to your other friends, like you're kind of joining groups.
Yeah.
And you can tell they don't like that one friend. So then you get kind of weird, that one friend. Like, that's what Kyle's doing to Kathy.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And she has no loyalty to her own flesh and blood. Yep. Sounds just like Kyle Richards.
And also because you can tell, you know, they've been talking shit about Kathy ever since Kathy laughed with Garcelle at that homeless, not toothless event. Ever since that, they were like, did anyone else notice Kathy laughing along with Garcelle? And they were like, oh yeah, I fucking noticed. I didn't like that. I didn't like that either. Did you hear her say Garcelle's right? I heard that.
Yeah, like this is, like they're like just like adding on to it. Like, yeah, this isn't the first time. And then pretty much, you know, like, I don't know. It's like, what team, like Kyle, like what team is your sister on?
And then the charity, then the making fun of the charity name was all they needed.
Oh, it's over. When she said, I have, what did she say?
I've worked with the homeless. I've worked with the toothless.
I've worked with the toothless. But you know, it was it you or somebody else that posted? She has. Remember, she said she liked to play dentist.
Yeah, she's made them toothless.
She's not lying.
She has.
She was telling an actual truth that happened to be funny. She was not lying.
She wasn't. All right, so I'm about to be as shady as one can be to a housewife. Okay.
Ooh, I'm ready for it.
Everyone gets to Kyle's. Why the hell are they not doing this at the Aspen House, where there is a chef and a huge sprawling kitchen and a huge sprawling dining area and a huge sprawling entertainment area? Why does Kyle insist on entertaining and hosting when she's horrible at it? She's always running around stressed. And I was paying very close attention to the actual contribution that she was putting into this. She wanted to host. It was her happiest place on earth, she said. Mauricio immediately needs help. So Cherie's like, I'll be your sous chef, because he's like, can someone actually, I don't have, there's no space.
Yeah.
Kathy's outfit though, real quick. What is, it's like a chiffon frilly pencil A-line skirt and a white, is it like a white on white leopard print baby tee?
I don't know. Rich people wear really ridiculous things to me. And so
this feels like something she took from Paris's closet.
Oh, absolutely.
She's like, I didn't have an outfit.
Kathy threw whatever she could find in a bag. She hasn't slept for more than, and we know Kathy has sleeping problems. Yeah.
She hasn't had her fan.
And they put her in the bunk beds.
And they put her in the fucking bunk beds.
You know what?
Rude.
What they're trying to do is, you know, that's what they're trying to do. They're trying to agitate her.
They're antagonizing her to get to the point of breaking, just so they can be like, wow,
look at her.
See, this is their plan.
Oh my God. They are calculating. They put her in the bunk beds knowing she can't sleep. She needs her box fan. Everyone knows she needs her box fan. And they're purposely agitating her and undercooking her corn. This is a fucking conspiracy.
I forgot about the corn. I didn't see that coming. And undercooking her corn. Too far.
Too far.
But this is exactly kind of what my point is. So like Kyle is doing nothing to help. Remember in like Quinta last year, she made Kathy set the table and was like mad at Kathy for not setting it right. But I was like, so why did you want to host? Like you can't host for shit. Like you didn't have this set up. Like I fancy myself to be pretty good at hosting, but I just don't like to do it. But when I do it great.
Yeah.
Okay. I got a fucking plan. But you can do it, but she can't.
Yeah, hosting is not fun, and no. I would not want to do it. I like to be a guest. I'm a great
whole
guest.
Group of people. You had a whole chef and a house manager at the Aspen House. Why the hell did you want to host the first night barbecue? Mauricio doesn't even seem excited. Mauricio seems annoyed as hell.
He does seem annoyed. He was like, I did not realize I was going to have to cook for all of these women when
he's like, I thought you hired a chef.
Yeah. And I also think that Dorit knew that there was going to be a chef at the other house. And that is why she volunteered as tribute. She's like, I'm going to be going where the chef is.
Yeah. She's like, she's been to Kyle's house enough and she knows how this works. She's like, I'm going to the other house.
Yeah. She's like, oh yeah. Guys. Yeah. I know you really want to be in that house.
Mm-hmm.
There's a chef. There's a chef in my house.
Mm-hmm. So notice Crystal wants to help. She's like, because she can feel, she's like, where's Mauricio going to put everything? Like there's no room on this tiny kitchen island, unlike the other house where we're staying, where it's huge and sprawling and has plenty of room. Kyle, you know what she's doing? She's just on her phone. In comes Mauricio with these trays of hot meat, and she's just on her phone, and she goes, Mauricio, well, why don't you move things out of the way? This is your fucking house. She's not putting out napkins. She's not putting out utensils. But now it's Kathy being high maintenance because she's like, there's no utensils. There's no napkins.
It kind of seems like she's doing that but it's because you didn't have any of the things out. So she's constantly having to ask for
those things that are needed.
Yeah. Like she's not like, oh, can you go get a unicorn and have it shit on this meat? No, she's asking for a napkin, a fork, a serving utensil, just basic things, a plate, like to put her food on. Like,
and it's like,
and some cooked corn
Kathy.
and some cooked corn. All she wanted was a grilled corn.
And so what's Kyle doing? Kyle's not helping. Crystal has to figure out the corn situation. We'll boil the corn. Kyle's like, okay, Kathy, God. I'm like, well, why are you not helping Mauricio cook? Honestly, Kyle, why did you insist on hosting when you are so bad at this?
I honestly wouldn't even eat anything from Kyle's house anyway, because she let that damn dog.
Do we not remember when she overcooked, when she burnt the salmon?
She burnt the salmon, and then that dog that they have, they let that dog eat off the counters all the time. I would not be eating from her home. No, I would not.
I'm serious. Like Kyle made them eat the salmon that was overcooked. Didn't she make some other disastrous meal? Like every time Kyle has attempted to feed them from her own home and hosting, it's been a disaster. So I think that they all have Kyle, you need to stop.
They need to just order out. There's no shame in that.
Chef.
Yeah. Use a chef, order. Just don't cook. I'm not impressed by that. If you're not a cooker, don't do it. I want to be comfortable. When I come and sit down to eat and break bread, I want to eat it.
I would be furious if you made me eat shitty food.
Yeah, I don't care that you made this. I would just have the chef do it. I don't need your hands to have made this meal.
This is why, when I recap Atlanta, it's so much more fun when there's food involved, because they always look like they're eating really good food.
Because they know how to cook. Atlanta people know how to cook.
This is I don't want to. They barely even show the food.
I know. I was looking at it. I was trying to take a peek because I was like, would I eat any of this crap? And that's why And that's
That
why Kathy,
corn.
that's what, no, let's talk about the steak now. That's why Kathy was asking about the steak. She was like, which one of these little burnt steaks should I have?
And why did Kyle be like, do you think I fucking care what fucking steak you eat? I'm like, wow.
I know that was like harsh. I didn't understand why she had that reaction.
It's like, okay, Kyle, do you really not care about Kathy? It's pretty clear you don't.
Well, the thing is, she only cares about Kathy when Kathy doesn't care about her. Then all of a sudden she wants to be like, why is my sister mad at me and all this other stuff. And then, but then her friends, like she wants to show off in front of her friends, like, let's make fun of Kathy.
Got it.
Yep. Hold on.
I can hear. Guys, sorry for, okay, a lot's happened, you guys. Remember how there was a guy that got behind Pia's in Pia's frame and we had to like readjust? Well, he started talking on the fucking phone loudly. So Pia had to, loud. Like we had to pause. I'm like, the audio is going to be completely fucked up. So Pia had to, I thought it was all the way up. Go ahead, Pia.
Yeah.
Pia was the one who had to deal with it.
Yeah, because it was weird because like from the moment when he sat down, he sat directly behind me. I was like, okay, that's weird. Like he can see my setup. Like it's very clear what I'm doing. I have a microphone and a light. And so then I was like, okay, whatever. That's fine. I adjusted. I moved. So that way he wouldn't be in frame. I want to respect his privacy and also respect the space. It's a shared space. That's fine. There's been plenty of people that have been in the room while we've been recording, and everyone has been very everyone I feel like is very respectful of each other of the shared space. And it's like it felt like he didn't like that I was recording the podcast in there, even though he was within my right. Yeah, it's well within my right. The building people know that I record in here. They actually love it because they'll like do tours and like point me out or whatever. It's, it's accepted. And he just like gets on this phone call and it seems like he's like on it for like longer than he needs to be. Like he's just like making it go because it's clear that I've stopped to like let him finish his conversation. And then he's like, he hangs up and then he's like, Siri, call someone else. I'm like, and it's like, okay, this is what bothers me. We have so many shared space areas in my building. I'm literally one door down in an actual literal conference room. The thing that he's doing, having conference calls, it could have been done in this room designed for conference calls.
Yep.
It was weird.
So now Pia had to she had to take every single, her laptop, the ring light, because we have our little diamonds that we do. If you're listening on the podcast, you don't see that we have our diamonds that we hold for our opening credits on YouTube. She had all these things she had to carry in. So she got set up and she's like, I might not be done with this. I'm going to go complain. And I go, Pia, go back out there pretending like you like forgot something and get a picture of him so you can complain to management. Yeah. Tell them what happened then.
Yeah. And then, so I'm like going, like, I'm like hypes me up. I'm like, yeah, I'm going to get a picture of him because I want to like be able to tell the management like who was being like this a little man being rude in the shared space. And I'm like, how am I going to get this picture?
Because by the way, there's clearly nothing that's been left behind.
Yeah. Like I've taken, I've taken every morsel of things, object, matter away. So I just like, I'm like, I don't know. I'm just going to wing it. So I like go in there with like I had a purpose and I just stand by these big, beautiful glass door windows as if I was going to like take some content, I was like, I'm a fucking influencer. I'm fucking taking pictures of myself. But what I was going to do is I was going to try to get him in it. Like I'm taking a selfie of myself, but really I'm taking a picture of him. Like I'm some type of fucking spy or something. And then I think he knows what I'm doing. So he like now he wants to be polite. He's like acting like he's being polite. And he's like, I'm going to take my phone call outside. And I was like, better angle for me because I'm standing in front of big glass windows. So he's actually standing right directly in front of me now between the window. And I just start snapping away when he's definitely hiding his face. But I have a lot
like he's covering his face.
Yeah. I'm like, and then I just like, and by the way, it's just so funny because I'm also wearing this fucking costume. So I look crazy. And I just like my fucking like jacket's just blowing as I walk like a goddamn diva. But also I forgot to tell you one thing before I left. I told Emily, but I didn't tell you guys. before I left the room initially, the first time when I gathered my things, I was so pissed. I was so freaking pissed that my pettiness, my petty Pia was like, we have like a sound system in that room. And it's right by the door that I was exiting out of. And I'm not even kidding when I said my finger hovered over that button to press play. So it would just blast music over his call. And I literally was like, oh. I might do it.
I'm glad you didn't, because now you get to go to the management and be like, know. This man.
I know, because I was like, if I do it now, I'm also in the wrong. And I don't want to be in the wrong. I want to be in the right.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
you said, what would Garcelle do?
I know. What would Garcelle do? But I really, really wanted to press play. Yes. So sorry, guys. That took a turn.
That took a turn. But we did it. We're here. Yeah. Now we're gonna get more upset about something else.
Yeah.
Oh, so now we're at the hard part. Now this is the hardest part of the episode. Let's take a breath.
Oh,
okay. Everyone, prepare yourself. I had to remind myself to breathe because it was hard to get through this.
Yeah.
Rinna finds the Ouija board. Kyle, like I said, Kyle had this all planned out. Kyle pretends she's not into it when she sees how other people are not into it. Like majority of the people were like, I'm not playing that. And she's like, oh, okay, well, I guess we don't have to play it then, guys. I mean, I'm not into it. They're like, no, you can play it. She's like, well, I don't want to play it if y'all be freaked out. Kyle, just play your stupid game. Do it. We know you want to do it. Okay. And so, but Diana had her purse over her shoulder. Did you notice that?
No,
Diana
I didn't.
Had her purse over her shoulder. And Garcelle goes, are you leaving? And she's like, I'll just sit right here. I was like, I wish you'd left.
Right?
Wish she had left. So Kyle's first question. Are we going to work out our issues? And then she like giggles like, oh, fucking annoying. This is a very unflattering vibe for you, Kyle. Like it's like, who told you this is a cute look? Because it's really unattractive. Okay.
She's just like so odd. She doesn't even try to hide it anymore, what she's doing.
It's just become the most hideous energy in the world. Watch the after show. I didn't pull the clip, but it's like the title of that particular part is like, Kyle is so petty and she thinks it's so cute that she's petty. Like, this doesn't work on you. You're not pulling this off like you think you are.
No, it's not good. It's
not working. It's not. I know what I think I know what you're trying to go for, because I think you've seen like other people pull this off, but it's
like she thinks
missing it.
She thinks she's like on these other franchises like Atlanta or something. Like she doesn't have the finesse. Yeah, like she doesn't have the finesse for it.
She's trying to be like Giselle and Robin and like they know how to do it. You don't know what you're doing.
She does not know how to pull it off.
No. And so Kyle's next question. Why did Garcelle unfollow Erika on Instagram? And apparently she already asked Sutton on the plane why she unfollowed Erika on Instagram. Now, and Erika's like, no, everyone, like you said, everyone's annoyed.
Yeah, at this point, it's like
Rinna in her confessional already said, she's like, wow, Kyle's really stirring the pot. Erika is like, I don't care. Like, everyone is annoyed with
Dorit's
you, Kyle.
like, I don't know what she's doing.
like we're all annoyed. Like, everyone's annoyed. And so, but Garcelle, like the queen she is like, I didn't like being told I was a liar. And Erika's kind of like stammering here because she's like, you said I was a liar and like wanting to spread some false narrative. And then she goes, when like, come on, like you were the one creating that narrative, because like, hello, basically like,
yeah,
you were the one drinking.
Yeah,
you were the one. But Erika's like, well, no, you were the one who repeated it to Kyle and to Dorit and then got mad when they didn't agree. And Garcelle goes, yes, but I also repeated it to you.
Yes, Garcelle.
And then Erika, when when we had drinks. Hello. But then Kathy chimes in at the most perfect time. She goes, yeah, a liar is not something I like to be called. I say a liar, a thief, and a pedophile. Way to break the tension, because it really like put things in perspective.
Yeah, we're like
I guess it could be worse. Sure. Okay.
Pedophile. May you know what? I actually think she might be taking that from, because she had this is going to take a tiny bit of a dark turn, but like she had the Michael Jackson, and I think I honestly think that's might be what she's referring to, like because I was like, that is such a random third point, but like for her, maybe not. That her friend had to deal with that a lot.
Yeah, and it ended up being accurate.
Mm-hmm. I feel like we're gonna have some Michael Jackson people in the comments.
I'm sorry, guys. I mean, but you can't deny that documentary.
I know.
That was so sad. Erika, well, you brought him up. It was your fault.
I know. I almost
did it.
I almost didn't want to, but I do think that
you literally did.
I did it. I'm Kyle.
You are Kyle. You fully are Kyle.
I told that was such a Kyle thing of me to do.
She's rubbing off. Oh God.
Get her off me.
Get her off.
What's wrong with being Kyle?
What's wrong with being Kyle? That's how she said it. Okay, so this is the greatest exchange ever. Garcelle says to Erika, Erika, we don't have to be friends.
Yes.
Erika did not. Erika's like, great. She's like, great. She's like, great. Yeah, it's not all kumbaya. She's like, no, it's not. She's like, great. Yeah, me too. Yeah. I don't, you can, Erika like isn't used to not being the dominant one in these scenarios. Cause like with Sutton, she's always winning. Cause Sutton's always like, here, let me shake your hand. It's like, no, Sutton, don't do that. Don't offer the option of her rejecting you. Yeah. Garcelle straight rejects her. Like, we are not cool. She's like, yeah, we're not. That's right. Garcelle's like, yeah, we're not. It's just so cool. Garcelle's and Erika's trying. She's like, yeah, don't you tell me. Don't you fucking tell me that is the guy.
No, it wasn't.
Oh, is it someone else?
It was. But you know what they did? They were like, oops, something that like a polite person would do.
Someone just came in the conference room. That's why I heard the door open. And I was like, if that man is coming to find you.
If that was that man, I would have just, you wouldn't even have seen me because I would have just leaped out of this goddamn chair.
Pia, this is the rule. If that man does come in, you immediately take the headphones out of the computer so I can also scream at him.
Yes. Like, get out of here. You can't have
you get the fuck out of here, you fucking asshole. Like you let me, I need to be able to get my feelings out too. Cause Okay. Kyle is still stirring it up though. She's like, okay, fine. I get that. Like, that's why Garcelle unfollowed you. But like Sutton, you said that you unfollowed because it was like a joke. But like, why? How is it like a joke? And now this is when Dorit's like, I don't get what Kyle is doing. Like, what is this about?
Yeah.
And Kyle is desperate to create this moment. She's desperate. But Kathy pulls the nobody cares card. And now you see Kyle has strategized this whole thing. She was producing from day one. She said, we're going to go to my Aspen house. Mauricio is going to barbecue. I'm going to make Kathy look high maintenance. We're going to call out Garcelle and Sutton. And we're going to have one of them get in a fight with Erika, and that's how it's going to go down.
Yeah.
It's not going her way. And Kathy, of all the people, pulls the nobody cares card, and it makes Kyle lose it. She throws a full tantrum. It's not that it's not important. I cannot even believe she snapped like that.
Oh yeah. Like you were seeing years of their trauma, sibling beef, rivalry happen right here. Unfold. Oh, damn, we need Kim Richards.
It's the intention behind it.
Kim would have been like, shut your mouth, Kyle. You stole my house.
We really that back up, Kim. We really do need Kim. We do. It's official.
We do
We need her.
Kim.
We need her. And Kyle's like, I just don't get like Sutton saying it's a joke of like unfollowing. So like how is this a joke? And how like I don't get how it's a joke. How is that funny? And so Sutton, her point is this. This is what Sutton is saying, but Kyle is so heated clearly because she's throwing a fucking tantrum.
Yes.
Sutton says she called me a CUNT and no one cared about that. But Kyle cuts her off and misses the second part. And she only hears Sutton say, she called me a CUNT. She only hears that part. And she goes, okay, well then say it's about that. That's my point. It's like, that wasn't what Sutton was saying. Sutton was saying, why are you freaking out about me unfollowing her when she called me a cunt and you didn't have a word to say about that? That was her point.
Yeah.
But you cut her off because now Kyle she did this exact same thing at the end of, remember the season when Kyle gets mad at Dorit because Dorit said something about how Lisa's parents didn't show her affection. And then like Lisa forgives Dorit really quickly. And then they were in New York for Dorit's like magazine event or something. And Kyle gets really mad. Remember that season?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
And at the season finale, it's one more Dorit event. And Kyle literally leaves because everyone's being so fake and not being honest and not saying what's really on their mind.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember that.
This is the exact same tantrum where she's like, no one's being honest. And I start to lose respect. And then I'm out. And then I'm bored. And then I'm over it. And she gets up and like starts walking out of the little moment.
That was actually what I like when she did that. That is what flashed in my mind because that's her, like Mauricio fucking trying to catch up behind her. She's like, no, I'm leaving. Like, I'm not going to deal with these people being phony. Like, yeah, I remember that.
And so, but Kathy like says like, no, Kyle, I agree with you, to try to calm her down. Like, I agree with you, Kyle. I agree with you. Cause clearly she's like a little fucking brat all the time and does this. And so Sutton says, "Guy, we are fighting about Instagram." And Rinna goes, it's not about Instagram. It's about what's underneath it.
God.
And then Sutton's point again is, okay, like, cause it's like, you're coming at me about this. It's like, I haven't heard you guys say one thing about her calling me a see you next Tuesday. And Rinna goes, why would we need to? And Diana, because you are one. That and Erika and Diana crack up.
Yeah, like it was weird. It was like two grown middle-aged women in like acting as if they're in high school again. It was so mean.
I could not believe what I was watching.
It was so weird.
It was so weird.
Like, and then all the other women, they clearly know that it's wrong and they're just cackling. So it's so awkward. It's just those two. And they keep going for a very, very long time. They don't care. They're in their own little world. And they're all just like not laughing, but it's not saying anything.
Lisa puts her head in her hands. And Garcelle didn't hear it. Garcelle said, what did she say? And then when she finally hears what she said, she goes, Diana, that's not okay.
Yeah,
that's not okay. Diana keeps laughing though. She goes, I said, because you are one, ha ha ha, like cracking up. Erika's dying laughing. And you guys are at the same time, you guys are giving her hell for unfollowing Erika, and you're letting Diana laugh and Erika laugh at this. Like, how are you not seeing the hypocrisy here? If this was happening to any of you, if this was happening to Rinna, if this was happening to... So Diana then like back, she's like, that wasn't civilized. I'm sorry. And Erika goes, what are you talking about? Like, don't apologize, basically.
Yeah.
And of all the things for Diana to call Sutton, she calls her slithery.
Yeah.
I'm like, you of all things to call her? I don't know why. Slithery, this licking of the lips all the time, and just, you're slithery.
And it's like, I don't care if you don't if you don't like someone. It was like it was overkill because Sutton wasn't even fighting back at that point. She was like, you know what, you guys say I'm clumsy with my word, like, and like she didn't say that, but like I'm like, if I talk right now, I'm going to get ripped to shreds. I'll just take it. I'll take it and I'll wait until it's done. And it wasn't done. They wouldn't stop. I told Emily this offline. It took me all my mind not to even like voice memo her, but like I was crying so hard during this scene, and I like really hard because I saw and it wasn't like, I didn't feel like Sutton was trying to like make me feel bad for her. I really felt someone just feeling alone, and all of the things that she may have thought about herself being said to her out loud. And it was really hard to watch. Whether you like Sutton or not, I wouldn't want to hear anybody be talked to like that, especially if they're not if it's not like a back and forth and like the person is clearly given up, retreated, white flag is up, and you keep going in like that. No one wants to see that. And that's what they failed to realize, that this is not entertainment to us. I was so upset after the tongue lashing that Diana gave. So if people want to be in the comments like she read her, that's not a read. That is not a fucking read. I don't consider that a read.
That was not a read at all.
That was disgusting.
Well, because they were talking about, unfollowing and that kind of nonsense. And it really wasn't that deep. But then Diana thought it would be funny to then say, well, you are a cunt. And then they laugh hysterically at it. And then when Garcelle checks her, it's like, that's not funny. That's not okay. And then Diana's like, look, I like you, but I just, I don't like your friend. Ugh. And Garcelle's like, come on, like she's a person, like she has feelings. And then Diana, does she have feelings? She comes after people at their weakest point. This is information that's being fed to her, by the way. This is information that's like Erika saying that, she came after me when I was at my lowest point. Rinna acting like the charity thing was this is her coming after me at my lowest point. Dorit with the robbery coming after me at my lowest point. This is them feeding her this information, because Diana, you weren't just bleeding on your deathbed. Okay. If you had just been bleeding, you wouldn't have gone to the party. You wouldn't have gone to Garcelle's birthday if you had truly just been bleeding.
Yeah.
And you wouldn't have been able to physically go.
And if you were just been bleeding, I don't think you would have had time to put on your mortician outfit, parade two men to bring a giant book displaying your book as a shade present to Garcelle. I don't know how you had time to do all that on your deathbed.
That may have happened months ago, but that doesn't, like, it didn't just happen.
Yeah,
you already went
like
on
you're
vacation.
trying to make it seem as if it was happening in the moment. You're skewing the timeline to make it seem like Sutton was aware that any of this happened. You're giving this information as they were going, and you guys were going back and forth, and then you started to throw in things to make your story seem like it's worse in the moment than it is. Like, I'm not saying what happened to you wasn't bad and traumatic, but like you're trying to take that and put it now and make it seem like it's happening in the moment, like you're bleeding right now, and that you, before you just came to this party, you just delivered a baby.
Exactly.
Like that died or whatever. Like
that's not what happened.
That's not what happened. You're skewing the timeline, and that's important. That's important when you're telling the story. That's very important.
And so they let her just go off. But then as soon as Sutton's crying, Diana then has to get up and leave because she's so upset. She's got to go. And then they all say, Diana, don't leave. But, I'm sorry, Kathy says that. But the rest of them are like, yeah, it's time to go. You've got to go. You've got to get out of here. And Kyle has the nerve to tell Sutton, don't be dramatic, when Sutton is crying. And she's like comforting her. And Sutton's like, I'm not being dramatic. Like, you guys. And then in Kyle's confessional, she's like, let me play it actually, because I just couldn't even believe that this was the word. These are the words that were coming out of Kyle's mouth.
Sometimes it's hard to speak your mind in this group. People get upset. They're emotional. This was not intentional. But Diana, she's saying what she thinks and feels. Someone can say she's being mean, but I can respect her being honest.
And she shrugs. She's like, eh. Respect her being honest. What was she honest about? What was she honest about? Like literally, what was she honest about? What I'm dead serious. What was she? What is she? What was she honest about?
I literally like, I'm so over this Aspen trip already. Like
Me too.
I literally don't even need to hear whatever Rinna has to say about Kathy. I don't believe it. You can probably, you can just edit it out because it's stupid.
Because I'm telling you right now, I can see what they did. They set her up to be pissed off. They know she's high maintenance. They know she expects a very high level of service. And they put her in Kyle's tiny house in a bunk bed situation with Mauricio clearly not in the mood to cater to her, when they should have put her in the other house where there's a chef and a house manager. And they made it so that she would be unhappy because they were pissed off from before. And now they got exactly what they wanted. And Rinna clearly was waiting for this to happen. This has all been completely set up. I can't even believe this. And next week though, we get Erika saying like, I don't give a shit about anybody else but me. And even Kyle is like, don't say that because I'm not going to be able to defend you. And Rinna,
breach of contract.
Yeah, right. Rinna rushing her out of the house because Erika's wasted. Like, oh, I should feel bad. Well, what about the facts? So, can't wait for that because I'm sure they're going to skirt right over that. It's like, yeah, you guys, I get that you hate Sutton, but you've got to be a little bit better at making it less obvious that you just hate her because she's not following your rules. And look, Garcelle isn't doing anything that they can get outwardly mad at. Like when they go for Sutton, she reacts weird. Yeah. And so they can be like, see, she's so weird. Oh, she did this. She said that. Garcelle doesn't. Garcelle stays so laser focused and calm that they can't, what can they say about it? Except for like, Rinna saying like fear, you're fearful. And I don't know, like, you look inward. It's like, what?
You make no sense. And then like, even with Erika and calling her a liar, Garcelle, let's peel back the layers. Why am I a liar? And then her being like, I said it to your face when we had drinks, but you probably don't remember because you're alcoholic.
So we're like, so they can't get mad at Garcelle, and Garcelle literally is, Sutton, you're not a liability. Garcelle, what you are is you're their obstacle. Yeah. They're trying to do what they always do, is take down the one person that's in their way. But Garcelle is their obstacle on that quest. And they're not used to that.
And that's what we've been saying the whole season. That's what the issue is. It's like they don't care. It's not the reason why they are being hypocritical about like when Rinna will chime in for Erika and all the other ladies will chime in for each other. And when Garcelle does it, it's bodyguard, is because they have a goal, and the goal is to destroy Sutton, and Garcelle is not letting them do that. So
we have seen them do this year after year. So they did it with, we've talked about this one time. They did it with Ren. They did it with LVP. They did it with Denise. They did it with, they did it to Erika. They did it to Dorit. They kind of just do it to everyone. They like beat them into what they need the narrative to be, essentially.
Yeah.
The difference is Diana this season. Did Diana like give them all like a bag of money? Like the ones that they wanted to, she's gonna buy
something from Mauricio.
Here Kyle, here Rinna.
Dorit like shiny things. Erika needs money. Yeah. And she needs to find a new husband, a new cash cow. So she needs to be in those circles. Rinna needed those papers for the charity event. Everybody needed something from Diana. She was valuable to them. I wonder how valuable she's going to be to them at the reunion and how quickly they'll jump ship. Because I don't like for Kyle, like, I don't know. Like I could see her jumping. Kyle's a flip flopper. So she will fucking flip on them without even telling them quickly at the reunion.
Kyle, like if they did a big cast shakeup and they got rid of Rinna, and I am at the point now with Erika because she has become so toxic that they could get rid of Erika because she's just toxic. Kyle will throw anyone under the bus to stay on the show, I think.
Absolutely.
I get why she's trying to get ahead of it though, to say like she's like, this might be my last season. It's like, because you see the writing on the wall.
Yeah.
And you want to get ahead of that. Maybe.
Oh, absolutely. She doesn't want to be fired, and she doesn't want to have to be the villain next season, in which she's going to have to be. Like, you skated by how many seasons now where you have not really been the target? Like, you know what I mean? Not
because
really.
you keep kind of pushing other people right in front of the bus.
And the last person you did it to was somebody who I think this one really did hurt her, which was LVP. I think that one she had to do it. And I think that's part of the reason why she still has animosity towards Dorit.
I agree with you. I think the LVP sacrifice was tough because she's always like, the thing with LVP is Kyle and LVP were doing the exact same game.
Yeah.
And they had a mutual respect for each other. But LVP could not forgive, as where Kyle could. Kyle was like, we're both playing the same game, Lisa. But Lisa's like, I will never admit that I'm playing the game.
Yeah, which is why,
I know, Pia, you respect her for it, because she will to the grave, baby. She'll never admit. She's like, what game? It's like,
I mean, and I have to kind of respect it, because it's like, my whole thing is, if you're going to do it smart. And I'm sorry, dumbass Teddy, you talked to a third party person, never spoke to Lisa directly. That's fucking weird.
and then tried to take it like, see, look what it's like. Oh, that's not gonna fly. That's not good enough evidence, Teddy.
Yeah, I was like, you still didn't. This is not her talking,
and you're on the text talking shit. You're the one doing. Oh, Teddy, it's so bad.
I still don't know how they let her get away with that. Except for Dorit didn't at the reunion. She did have to give that one like blow. Like, you didn't want to be the only one. Yes, it was. Yeah, it was
sitting
so
right
good.
next to her. Sitting right next to her.
It was so fucking good. She was like, Dorit's like, the only way I'm gonna allow her in the Fox Force 5 is if I get to fucking say this.
She's like, I need to get one line in, you guys.
And they're like, that's fair.
They
said, they all agreed. They all voted. They said, sorry, Teddy, she's got to do this to you. Then you're in. That's all.
You know what? I feel like Dorit after the Denise season, because you remember Dorit, in my opinion, she was the shining star of the Denise season, because she was the only one who, like, they must have forgotten to add her to that group chat because she accidentally silenced those notifications, because she was like, I'm not aware of the Denise takedown. Like, I wasn't. We like Brandy now, because she was like, I'm not listening to Brandy. I don't know this chick.
Well, this is because this is Dorit's Achilles heel. She loves a celebrity. She loves a celebrity.
You're right.
She said, I can't do that. I won't stop you, but I can't be a part of it.
You're right.
But I won't stop it. I won't be a part
You're
of
right.
it. She's like, I'm gonna sit the season out. I'm gonna be on the bench.
You're right. Like, Brandy was like, I am not lying. Okay. She like licked my pussy. It was like, oh, and she's like, and then Dorit she didn't even flinch. She went, I don't believe it. I was like, damn.
I loved it. It was so good.
So Dorit really, she was the only one who she wouldn't bite. She wouldn't go. But then what happened? What happened the very next season? That was when she went toe to toe. Or I shouldn't say toe to toe, because that seemed like it was an evenly matched thing. But she went for Garcelle.
The Garcelle's not a celebrity to her.
Exactly. And that's why I was like, okay. But also,
they don't respect her craft.
Was so weak when she was going for Garcelle. She's like, I just feel like there's something you're trying to say and you're not quite saying it. And I'm like, hold on, let me do it. Because I was very proud of this montage I made. It was like, here are all the times Garcelle told Dorit literally exactly what she felt. And it was like Garcelle telling her, she's like, you would never have Sutton's back. No, you'd never have her back. And then Dorit would be like in her confessional, like, just feel like there's something Garcelle's trying to tell me. She's just not quite saying it. I'm like, she just said it. She said you would never have Sutton's back. And then the next thing would be like, you talk a lot, Dorit. Yeah, you talk a lot. Garcelle has a way of like jabbing where she's not quite saying what she means. I'm like, she's literally saying the most blunt sentence.
Also, can I just point out, thank you for pointing out all of that, the Dorit coming for Garcelle stuff, that in case we forgot about it, because this has been a hell of a season. But have you noticed that Dorit explained why she doesn't like the way that Garcelle speaks to her, or the way, like the jokey, sarcastic way that Garcelle would speak to her? And have you seen that Garcelle took that in and did not do it again? And they haven't had any problems. You know what I mean? Like, it's like, okay, she's like, okay, I get it. You don't like to be picked at, and that's fine. I won't do it.
Got it. You don't like teasing.
You don't like and she hasn't teased her. Have we heard her tease Dorit at all?
Nope.
She really listened to her. She said, okay, that's fine.
Got it. Not everybody likes it.
I will not tease you anymore.
Growth.
And that's the problem. It's like they have this fear of having flaws and having to work on themselves and like change. And what makes, I think, Sutton and Garcelle and even Kathy fun to watch is that they're, and Crystal too. And Crystal too. Like, even it took her a second. She was a little stubborn at moments, but she was like, okay, I can see, like, maybe, like, like, and it's making them more palatable, makes them more tolerable, makes them more entertaining and and I enjoy watching them more. When the Fox Forest 4 are upon us, like they make everything really hard to be like around.
I don't know why that was so funny when the Fox Force 4 are upon us.
Well, they are always upon
when
us,
they're
aren't
upon
they?
us. It does feel, it feels like they're entities, like
they're
us.
like literally like just soaring over us like the Dark Lord.
It does.
God, like it's like immediately gets cold. I'm like shivering. God, I could use them right about now in this LA weather. Get me cool.
Totally are. They're like a force that is upon us, and we have to like. Yeah, we need to. So
like, Turban came off talking about them. Like,
I know my hair is too clean to like be in a turban, so it's just like.
Well, my hair is in a low bun, and I've put a lot of stuffing in here to try to like get it.
Yeah,
I have like a bonnet. I have
day.
A bonnet, a scarf underneath this. I need to not have a low bun. It has to be a poof.
Has to be a poof.
Yeah, something
high.
Something in here.
All right. Well, that was brutal. Next week is sure to be brutal again. It's gonna. I just want to get through this season.
I'm ready for the reunion, and Andy better bring it, sir.
Just let's not get our hopes up.
I'm not. My hopes are. The thing is, my hopes are all the way into the goddamn
I'm there below the surface. Yeah. Exactly.
They're. I do not think that I'm going to get the reunion that I want, that you want, or any of the Bravo fans want. He's going to give us a reunion that he wants to give us, which is going to be a safe one. And I feel like the only time he ever gets really like good at these reunions anymore with like the housewives, like he was good in the early seasons because he didn't care about any of them. But now, like the only ones that he's ever kind of good at now are like the off-brand ones, like the Vanderpump Rules or the Summer House, because they're kids. So he's like, he has no problem making fun of them.
Also, Potomac, he's good at because he doesn't fear them.
Yeah.
Atlanta, he's not too bad at. It's just Beverly Hills. Beverly Hills is the only cast he's afraid of.
First of all, Atlanta, he literally has to say zero things in Atlanta. That reunion runs itself yearly. He sits there, he asks a couple of questions, and then they just fucking go ham.
And then he literally just like watches. He enjoys it.
It's
and
like
it's an event for him.
I think that's his favorite reunion. Yeah, agreed. He does the minimal work and has the most entertainment.
Yeah, he is beaming from ear to ear, just so excited.
He loves Atlanta.
I think his least favorite is Orange County.
Oh yeah, I definitely would agree with that.
Yeah, he can't stand it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sometimes Roni too.
I was like, Orange County or Roni? I think it's Orange County more so though.
Yeah. Roni maybe second.
Second for sure.
I think Beverly Hills he dreads because it's like he has to be so careful.
Yeah, Beverly Hills is his problem child because he's like it's the franchise favorite. He has a lot of really star people who are hard to manage, and he's like,
and they're also sensitive, and like he has to be so careful.
Yeah, I feel like he's like, I wish you could be like Atlanta. Like, God, they just go for it, and then they show up, and there's no fucking problems.
Yeah,
like Portia assaulted a whole person on the stage. I put her on pause, and she was still fine with me. Like, come on. Teresa pushed me, and we're cool. Like, you guys.
Oh yeah, Jersey might be up there now too. He got real tired of those Jersey ladies.
Yeah, because they just were like not answering questions.
It's the same thing. It's like it just goes in a loop. He's like, "Wow, why are we even like? Why are we even talking?
Yeah,
why are we even bothering?"
Jersey definitely frustrated him because it was mostly Teresa and Marge that was frustrating for him. They were just they were on a like broken loop,
going nowhere.
Yeah.
All right, let's wrap it up today, guys. That was rough. Okay. Thanks for tuning in. Please like, subscribe, rate, review, comment, follow Piaget at Piaget V on TikTok and Instagram. And we will see you next time. Bye.
Bye.